We're going to continue to talk about the future. This whole channel is going to be about your future. It's going to be about how we're creating it, how we are actually stepping into the power of doing that in a way that's beyond law of attraction. Law of attraction was very nice, but it still separated you from something out there. And that's just not the case. In fact, quantum physics proves that you can change the future and humanities too. So, have you ever wondered if the future is already written or if somehow we're writing it right now? It's not fixed because here's what the most advanced scientists and the most ancient spiritual masters both discovered centuries apart. Reality is not fixed, it responds to you. What if your thoughts, emotions, and even your imagination are literally programming what happens next, not just in your life, but in humanity's story? So today I'm going to share how quantum physics is proving what ancient mystics and sacred texts have whispered for thousands of years, that consciousness, your consciousness, is the true architect of the future. And by changing it, we can change everything. And it starts with your life right now. We're going to talk about that. I even have a course I just did because I'm going to help you to get to a space that maybe you never imagined was possible. Are you ready to go there? Come on. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fear. Fear limits you. It is placing something out in the quantum field that I'm sure you don't desire, and that is limitations, that there's something out there to fear. That means you don't believe you control your future, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And we're going to talk more and more about how we are going into an era where we are empowered. Psionics, you've heard about that, where we can call in entities from other dimensions, maybe even other planets, yeah? Craft showing up. Why? Because now we're going into a heartfelt space of love. We've been It's been demonstrated that it is the love, heartfelt feelings that actually attract them. Well, we're going to talk about that in another video, but we're going to talk about quantum science. So I hope you will subscribe. So many of you said you're being unsubscribed. Go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell. And also, I have free stuff for you, some cool stuff. One is Mind Over Money, the Abundance Accelerator. I just created this course because I'm going to show you how you can get past all the limitations of how you handle money, how it is in your life. Are you struggling? I've got that down there too. So click for that free quiz to see what archetype you are. Are you the scarcity, the victim? I've got a whole bunch for you. You're going to find out what you're doing that is sabotaging your abundance. It can be every area of your life. So go check that out. Digital Explorers. Go look in the description. I got all kinds of cool stuff for you. So let's start with science because it's catching up to spirit. So, in the famous double slit experiment, scientists fired particles of light, photons, through two slits to see if they would behave like solid matter, particles, or energy waves. The shocking discovery: when no one was watching, they acted as waves, infinite possibilities. But when someone observed them, they collapsed into one solid result. What does that mean? Just by watching, by being conscious, the observer changed reality. And they did this over and over again. As soon as it was observed, it went into a particle. This is how the entire world works, possibly the universe. I know it applies to this planet. What does that mean? Your focus on something changes that reality. It collapses into a particle, and depending on what those thoughts are, changes everything, including your future. That's not philosophy, that's quantum physics. And what does that mean for us? It means that the energy of awareness, your focused intention, turns potential into form. The more emotion and clarity you bring, the faster that collapse into reality happens. So you can't fake it. You can't just look at it and say, I want a mansion. You've got to know it, feel it. You're creating it. You've got to go into that space. That's what I teach. You got to learn how to do that. And that means you have to get rid of all the other garbage, the other stuff that's telling you anything different. Take some practice. It can be done. It can be done today. So this is why Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows people healing their bodies through meditation, not metaphorically, but measurable on brain scans. It's why the placebo effect works. Belief literally rewires the body at a molecular level. Now, I attended some of his, two of his events. I gotta tell you, they're pretty intense, and we were manifesting some crazy stuff. People were getting results right there. I know I did. And that was just concentration. Of course, we were meditating for 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours at a time. It was crazy, but you can do this too. And when you go into that space and you envision, you focus, you go into clearing out the other garbage that says something different, that's manifesting that particle, and going into another one. You can do this. You're not a passive observer in this world. You're an active participant, a quantum creator. Do you believe it? So many of you think things are just happening. You have control. You can create miracles. I have my entire life. Crazy, crazy stuff has appeared. I'm talking literally. Physical things appearing, 2-carat diamond ring, a pile of money. I'd win all kinds of contests. I beat all the odds of all kinds of ways that if you've watched any of my videos, you hear me tell these stories. And you can do it too. It's not magic, but you do hold magic. So let's talk about ancient echoes of the same truth. So now let's go back thousands of years. Long before the term quantum ever existed, the ancients were already describing it. In the Vedas and Upanishads of India, it's written, the world is mind made. Hello, how many times do we have to hear this? As the mind, so the man, bondage or liberation are in your own mind. As above, so below, as above. It's the same thing. In Hermetic philosophy, they call it the law of mentalism. All is mind. And that's not just a thought, it's a feeling, it's a belief. It is much more expansive than just the brain. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth spoke of vibration and frequency as the essence of creation. So you have to believe. You cannot just say words. This is why law of attraction is outdated. I'm going to say something. I'm going to vibrate here, but I want this over here to come to me. It cannot. It's impossible. All you have to do is simply vibrate on that level, know it is done, and boom, you will see freaky, amazing stuff start to happen. I've spent a lifetime doing this, and as soon as I go out of that frequency, I can tell the difference, and you got to just shift back into it. You can do this. It takes conditioning. You've got to practice. So vibration and frequency are the essence of creation. The ancient Egyptians taught that words, emotions, and sound held power to speak matter into existence. The ancient Egyptians is probably how they built the pyramids, yeah? And in the Bible it said, in the beginning was the Word. The vibration, the intention that started all creation. Different languages, same truth, right? They were all describing what quantum physics now calls energy fields, vibrational resonance, and wave collapse. A particle, a wave, what is it? Depends on what you focus on. Your focus creates reality. It is non-existent until someone observes it, and then it becomes real. So everything, thoughts, words, feelings, carries frequency, and frequency determines form. This is true. This is science, okay? So let's talk about the collective field. Here's where it gets really fascinating and deeply hopeful. You're not creating alone, okay? So every thought, emotion, or belief you send out joins the collective field because we're one family. We're not, nothing's separate, right? We can't escape that. So think of it like a massive quantum ocean that holds every vibration we emit individually and together. So in the 1990s, the Maharishi effect, you probably heard about this, showed that when just 1% of a city's population meditated on peace, crime rates dropped. Beyond that, even the incidents in hospitals, the health improved, all kinds of things improved. And then as soon as they stopped, it went right back to the old statistics. The Princeton Global Consciousness Project tracked random number generators around the world and found they shifted dramatically during global events like 9/11 or mass meditations. It changed the frequency right of the planet. We've heard of this, the Schumann resonance, right? What does that tell us? The consciousness is not private, it's interconnected. When we elevate our personal frequency, we uplift the field of humanity itself. That's how important you are. So that's why fear-based media can be so destructive. Anything you look at, you'd say, "Oh, I'm just interested." Oh, ooh, it's like watching a train wreck, right? It affects your energy field. It has an effect. It will lower it. Shut it down. I know it's tempting. I know it's tempting. You've got to shut it down. And by the way, when you look at that stuff, the algorithms, especially if you do it on YouTube, on the internet, it says, this is what you like. And it takes you down, down, down. This is why you're saying, oh, YouTube's sending me all this garbage and conspiracy. And I'm thinking, no, you did it. You're in charge. It's only giving you, just like the universe, quantum field, what you say you like, what you're interested in. It amplifies collective fear, anchoring lower frequencies that create chaos and division. I'm talking about the quantum field now. But the opposite is also true. A wave of compassion, gratitude, or peace can literally reprogram the energy field. Now, somebody said, I can't forgive somebody who murders somebody. And I said, well, where do you draw the line? Can you forgive cheating? Can you forgive stealing? Can you forgive murder? Christ forgave everyone as he was dying. Hello, who's right? You or what Christ said? Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Remember this. When you're looking at that, they know not what they do. They are in unconsciousness. So they are part of that quantum field. So as soon as you place compassion in there and even forgiveness, you raise the frequency and they benefit, you benefit, we all do. When you judge, you go into, I can't forgive because you are now setting the rules. Source is all things, including darkness. So let's talk about how to shift the future. So how do we use this knowledge, not as theory, but as a tool for transformation? It begins with your state of being. So every thought sends a signal. Every emotion sets a frequency. And here are 3 simple but powerful steps to shift your energy and influence the future. We're creating the future. Meditate with intention. Not to escape reality, but to consciously design it. So we have to be intentional. Close your eyes. Feel the emotion of gratitude for a world already healed, peaceful, abundant. You have to know it is done. Feel it as real now. That's how you instruct the quantum field. So no matter what this is, just say, okay, that's there. Observe it. Don't try and fight it. Observe it. Okay, fear, whatever, it's there. But here's what I envision. This is what I choose to create. Number 2, speak the future you choose. Words are energy waves. So instead of, I hope the world gets better, say, we are awakening. And we are. Shift from hope to declaration. Hope means it may or may not happen. I want to live in a future that I determine. And I'm saying we are going into a golden era and we are expanding our beautiful, amazing energy, compassion, our love into the space of the higher frequency. And that's what exists there. Is love. Detach from fear loops. Don't feed the frequencies of division and despair. Don't get into division. Don't be arguing. I'm right. This is wrong. This is like a flash in the pan. You're going to be out there going, we're arguing about what? Stupid stuff, right? The moment you refuse to give them your attention, they lose their energy in the fields. Negativity does. This is how individuals like you become planetary catalysts. When thousands do this together, the world has to respond. It's not magic, it's physics. So I just said, as soon as you place your attention, somebody becomes real. It becomes a particle. It now exists. So if you're giving your attention to all this stuff that's negative, you now make it real. And I'm serious about that. Right? It doesn't exist until you place your attention on it. So the quantum invitation. So I'll leave you with this question. If your thoughts today are programming the next version of Earth, what do you want to code? What do you want to code? Because the truth is, we've already proven it works. Like, again, this is not law of attraction, something out there. I say we attract. No, we're talking science here. And I love science because we have to prove things. It's been proven. We've already proven it works. So from ancient temples to quantum labs, every path leads to one message. Consciousness creates reality. All of us are. And so most of you are saying, well, I can't forgive. We came here to make mistakes and fail and experience it and to rise above it. It's all about that. So the murderer, can you forgive the murderer? That's the test. Not if we can all not kill each other. It's that when somebody does, can you forgive them? It's on you now. It's not about them. They're your greatest teachers. Yeah, and they've got consequences. They don't get off the hook. Nobody does. But we do it to ourselves. Source doesn't judge. How can it judge the very thing it creates? It's just experiencing everything through you. And the ultimate goal is for us to make higher choices once we do go into that space. It's all possible, right? We're all eternal. Everybody is, including the victim. And there's agreements. They are not just victims. They come here in advance knowing that they're going to play certain roles. We don't know what they've done prior to that that makes them want to do that. They may have been the murderer one time, and now they have to experience what it's like to be the victim. We cannot know this or judge it. Well, you could judge it. Do you want to? Do you want to go into the basement? That's where you stay because Christ doesn't judge, neither does Source. The future isn't waiting to happen. It's waiting for us to decide, to feel, to imagine something extraordinary, and together we can. I hope you'll subscribe and share the good word. We are now going to the space where this isn't going to be as difficult. You living in lack or fear or anxiety, you wish you were off this planet. Hey, listen, there are days I feel that way too, but I know I have a job to do, and so do you. And you don't want to blow your chance here, okay? But you can change anything. Anything. There's no like punishment. Karma's instantaneous. If you know that you have done something and you've made some errors, it's about learning from that, not that you made a mistake. You cannot make a mistake. It's all an experience. And so from that, it's the choice you make after that that counts. So let it go. And also, who are we to stand in judgment of another's choices? Yes, of course it affects other people, but they are absolutely participating. Nothing is random or chaotic. Even chaos is organized. All right? We can't understand it, but know it occurred and something is to be learned from that. And most of all, it is compassion and love, no matter what. All right, so go down Mind Over Money, the Abundance Accelerator. Go find out what your archetype is so that you can recognize how you might be sabotaging yourself or going into victim mode. There's all kinds of cool archetypes you'll find out. And then you will have a free masterclass from me that goes through it and talks about some of the ways that you can shift out of that. And of course, I have a 90-day course for you if you want to take that, that is going to blow your mind. We're using quantum physics in there. It's pretty cool. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.